Good evening, everyone. Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, Adab. This is Ekta Sehgal Malhotra, founder and chief strategy officer, Motherhood Club. Meeting everyone on a very special day, International Literacy Day. A day which was started, if I'm not wrong, in the year 1967 or 69, where the sole purpose of having a day like International Literacy Day is or was that every human being has a right to be literate. And when a human is literate, it opens the door for so many other achievements in their life, however big or small. Uh, you'll be surprised to know that more than 770 million people across the globe are still illiterate, and that's a huge number. And I'm not just talking about our country. Of course, we all know the situation of our country. So, on this very special day, and a day which is very close to my heart, because I very firmly believe that education is something that changes your life completely. Having said that, it is not just important to study scholastic, which is your basic English, Hindi, math, science, environmental science, social studies, but it is also important that we involve non-scholastic or post-scholastic in our curriculum, in our day-to-day life, incorporate passion, incorporate different kinds of learnings in our life, because if there has to be an economic development in any country, it is only and only possible if the people of that country are literate. There are different forms of literacy. We'll come to that in some time. But allow me to introduce our four esteemed guests at the panel discussion today. So, the very first time that we have someone who's joined us is Alok Mishra, co founder Good Works Trust, an organization which is extensively working for students, for women, to support them for skill development. And along with Alok, you all met Smriti Mishra a few months back, where she came and spoke about her journey as to how she got involved in educating one and all. Then I think again for the first time we have Malvika Singh, who's joined us. She's the principal for Apna Ghar School, which you all know of because many a times you have seen Ela and me at Apna Ghar talking and engaging with the students or with the mothers, talking about menstrual hygiene, about menstrual cup. Then we have Mrs. Madhu Sethi, a senior member at Motherhood Club, my mom, and also a teacher for over 4 decades and has been teaching children, be it scholastic or craft, and a very creative person herself. And lastly, I think the youngest member on our panel today, Shireen Vardhan Sharma. Again, we all know her. She's the founder of Unnati, a school of learning, a teacher by profession, who at a very crucial juncture in her career took a break from the school teaching and started to teach her maid and followed the children of all the neighborhood maids who she's teaching along with her fleet of teachers, which I think from 2, 3 now has reached to maybe more than 25, 30 teachers or 30 to 40 students. But they have also given opportunity not only for scholastic but post-scholastic. So welcome each one of you, and what a delight to have each one of you here. And also welcome to everybody on Facebook and YouTube who are watching us. So the theme for this year for International Literacy Day is that if we are able to build the literacy of the country, we bring the society together. We bring in a happy and a better society. So I am going to ask our senior most member first that why did she start teaching children from the neighborhood, the children who come from humble background, when she already had hung her boots, her children had passed out, and she taught many students who today are doing exceptionally well in their careers. So, Mrs. Madhu Sethi, why did you start teaching children from the humble background?
Good evening, everyone. You see, why I started teaching, from the humble class children, because I found that everybody has the brain. So my own helper's child, who has been taken his birth in my hand only. And I started grooming him. And from, in their own house, there was no one to guide. So the way he been taking, the help from me, I found that he is really very, his grasp was very good, and he was very bright to take anything, whatever I used to tell him from the childhood. So I started grooming him. When he was about a year plus, I started giving him some books and to recognize the pictures, to read alphabet, to read Hindi, Varanmala and all. So his pickup was very good. तो मुझे लगा कि अगर इस बच्चे को कोई हेल्प नहीं मिली, the the knowledge which I am giving him, if it won't go to the right way, इस बच्चे का फ्यूचर नहीं बन पाएगा. So I started teaching him. When I started teaching him, and people came to know, so there was a line of children. So which I felt that it was not possible for me because of the space. But I just picked up few children at about there were 8 or 10 of them, and they were all from humble class, where the parents were totally illiterate, and I felt that like a ocean, if you just put few drops and contribute few drops, I think I will whatever time I had spent with my own children and taught in various schools also, but now if I do justice to these children, I think I will what words I should use, मुझे लगेगा मेरा जीवन सार्थक हो गया. बिकॉज पैसे भी बहुत कमाए पढ़ा के, अपने बच्चों को पढ़ाया, दूसरे बच्चों को पढ़ाया, स्कूल में पढ़ाया. So God was kind to me, and then now I thought that I spend my life for these children. And touch wood, now since after the COVID, the number has reduced because of the maintaining the distance. Now I had 5 of them, which I can manage very comfortably. And all of them, they are doing excellent. They all are getting 99% marks in all subjects, and even in their extracurricular activities, they are participating, whether it is dramatics or speech or any competition. They go and they feel very happy. उनसे ज़्यादा मैं एक्साइटेड होती हूँ कि वो क्या करके आए हैं. आई यूज टू वेट कि वो कब आए, कब उनका रिजल्ट आए, कब वो स्पीच देके आए उसका रिजल्ट मिले, कब उन्होंने कोई परफॉर्मेंस किया है उसका रिजल्ट मिले. सो दे आर डूइंग वेरी वेल, एंड आई हैव अ वेरी गुड रिलेशन विद देयर पेरेंट्स, which I really wanted to maintain, because when parents are equally enthusiastic to send their children for good cause, फिर मेरे को उससे भी ज़्यादा मज़ा आता है. And touch wood, all the parents, they are very keen. They want that even if they spend from morning 8 till night 12 o'clock with me, they feel that they are in their own house. एंड मेरा भी यही रहता है कि जो काम उनसे करवाना है, वो अगर नहीं हुआ तो रात को 12 भी क्यों ना बज जाए, वो वहीं बैठेंगे और वो करके जाएंगे. एंड दे आर डूइंग वेरी वेल. और मेरी आत्मा को बहुत शांति है, विच आई फील कि सोसाइटी में इट्स जस्ट लाइक ए ड्रॉप विच आई एम कंट्रीब्यूटिंग. सो आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट आई थॉट ऑफ कोचिंग टू दीज चिल्ड्रन. And I wish and I want to see that even if I'm not here, my children are here. They will see them, how they grow, they will become something, and they will remember me. मैं ऊपर से फूल बरसाऊंगी. Thank you.
So, 5 to 8 children is what Mrs. Sehgal taught. And may I request the others to go on mute? I can hear some background noise. Okay. I'm now going to move to Shireen. Shireen, I'm moving in the hierarchy of the number of students that each of you are managing. You started off with your house help. Thereafter, you brought in other house helps, and then you brought in the kids, right? It is not very easy to quit your job and then start something that you are so passionate about, right? What were the kind of challenges that you faced, the resistance that you faced, not just from the children or the mothers who were coming to study, but from people around you?
Initially, ma'am, see, uh, ma'am, you have asked me a very tough question. Ma'am, the challenges that I faced was, the challenges that I'm still facing, they are like, sometimes your own family members, they don't understand that what is the what is the priority, and what is the importance of these classes in these children's life. Sometimes it becomes very difficult to convince your own family members. So that's the biggest challenge that I'm facing, because sometimes my own children are growing, their needs are also growing, and I have also joined an organization, and even that organization also wants, they have their own expectations. So it is becoming a bit difficult for me to set a balance between everything, but I am trying my best. And it's because of the children's performance, children's my own students love, that drives me to get going and to pursue this further.
Right. So, Shireen, you started off with maybe two or three teachers, and today
Yes,
you have more than 20, 25 teachers.
yeah.
How did you get these teachers? Because I think, I'm sure I will ask Alok also this question at a little later in time, that a lot of people do not want to come forward because this is a kind of work which is not a remunerative job. You really need to be very passionate about it to be able to give something that you have unconditionally for the love of the children, or for the sheer passion that you want to teach someone and you want to groom. So how did you convince this fleet of teachers who today are proud to be Unnati teachers?
Ma'am, ma'am, please don't find this flattering, but the entire credit goes to you only. You were the one who motivated me to come on the Facebook and put everything that I've done and that I've been doing on Facebook. And since that time, ma'am, lots and lots of people have come to know that there is a organization called Unnati, and these there are 2 3 ladies who are working with the kids, and they are grooming them and shaping them. So they also wanted to come on board, and that's how we have gained their trust. And thank you, Ekta ma'am, for guiding me at the right time. It's because of you, ma'am. Lots of children have got benefited out of it.
I think you guys are just giving me the credit, but I have nothing to really do about that. But thank you very much. And I'm so glad that true to its name, Unnati is actually doing Unnati. Moving on, Alok. At one point in time, Good Works Trust had more than 300 children. And let me tell everyone that the dedication that we see from Good Works Trust, whether it is from Alok or Smriti, and I have seen this personally where I've seen Smriti standing under a tree, irrespective of the weather condition, and teaching children. And those children, when you tell them to take the class for the time period that Smriti is talking to me or to someone else, the command that they have in their voice, the confidence that they have in their voice is outstanding. मतलब वो बच्चे जब बोलते हैं ना, ए फॉर एप्पल या अ से आ, वो जो बुलंदी है उनकी आवाज में, आई थिंक द मेन स्ट्रीम चिल्ड्रन को हमें वो सिखाना पड़ता है, एंड द वैल्यूज दैट आई सी. सो आलोक, जब आपने स्मृति एंड बाकी के जो आपके टीम मेंबर्स हैं, जब आपने गुड वर्क स्टार्ट किया, you are a professional, you run an IT firm, you're an entrepreneur. What instigated you to start Good Works Trust along with your other colleagues to actually help shape the future of the country?
Namaskar to everybody. Absolutely pleasure to meet all the other panelists along with Akhtar. Uh, like Shreen has mentioned as well, there are challenges everywhere. A lot of challenges when you start up something. But when you are focused with something and you are very clear in your mind, Akta, that you need to do this thing, you find out a way for that. So that is one very important thing in the kind of work we all are doing, to keep that dedication towards your goal, so that you carve a path for the success. So when we started it, it was as troubleful as Shireen was trying to say earlier. When you start up anything, you go and find out the first kid and the first teacher. In my case, the good thing was that both Smriti and Shruti were absolutely dedicated for their uh, 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 responsibilities for the society and things. So they were all on the feet to the sector 9, 10, all those slum areas, finding out the first student. Then a lot of them, like you said, still no, not at a point of time, still we have more than 300 kids coming from different backgrounds, from slum dwellers to all those housemates and other people who are working, house helpers and all, their kids and all. So it was challenging to find out the people. But when you are into a noble cause like this, you keep coming to people who helps you out in this journey. Like we met, me and you, if we talk about how we got collaborated with this cause, and now even you are doing a lot of programs along with us to benefit all those kids and all. So challenging part is always there, but when we are motivated, when we have people like Madhuji and all, who is really an inspiration. We see Shireen, who is as young and still doing her responsibility. So you get motivated to find out those ways and do the things. With good works, we have till now, in the past 6 7 years, we are working in the different areas of Noida, some other cities as well around the country. And the journey so far is troubleful but very interesting and inspirational. Whenever I get and meet other people who are volunteering us for different work and all, for teaching, for non teaching and other recreational works, music, art, other things, we are absolutely delighted with this thing, and that gives some motivation to go and find out, talk to more people. Like in the conversation like this, you maybe I'm meeting all, apart from you, everybody is new to me. But when I'm listen to both the panelists, Madhuji and Shireen, and same with Malvika, who is going to speak about, because I read a little bit about her organization as well. So these things motivates you, and a lot of people come and join you during that journey what you are into. So thankful to everybody for this thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, from a informal structure of what Mrs. Sehgal Shireen is doing, and then to an NGO and like an after school or a skill development entity, moving on to Malvika, who's a principal of a school in Sector 49 in Noida, where I have had first-hand experience to engage with the children on different subjects, be it menstrual hygiene for girls or having conduct a hands-on science experiment class as the Chief Curiosity Officer for Curiosity Kids India Private Limited. Malvika, being a principal, there are many challenges that you also face from the children and more so from the parents. So, how has your journey been as a principal of a NGO run school where you would have had a chance to be a principal of maybe any other school or maybe be a teacher in a private school? How has your journey been, Malvika? Unmute yourself, Malvika.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. So, as Ekta ma'am, you herself started with the introduction that about 1 million or 1 billion of population is still devoid of in the light of education. So, when I started my journey in the field of education, I was already working with an airlines, and I started my journey teaching with the house, the same with Shireen ma'am and Madhu ma'am started अपने मेड के बच्चों को पढ़ाना से start किया मैंने. Then later on I decided that I'll go and join some school, in formal school where the children are coming from the underprivileged section of the society. ये journey it's been 10 years now. Journey from a part-time teacher to a principal has been I can say it's a great journey. The problem which came across is, like you can say, um, The main problem is with the parents because they have no time for their children as both of them are working to meet their ends. Because ये इनके पास जो जॉब है उसमें वो दोनों को ही काम करना पड़ेगा सिंस मॉर्निंग सिंस 6 o'clock इन द मॉर्निंग टिल 7 8 9 जब भी इवनिंग तक में आते हैं दोनों पेरेंट्स उसके कारण होता क्या है मैम कि बच्चों के पास उतना समय नहीं होता घर पे कि पढ़ सकें वो और ये एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है बिकॉज हम उन्हें वी आर ट्राइंग to give them the education which is somewhat similar to the formal schooling. And I feel, in fact, I have also talked about it earlier also, कि ये जो books हैं, these are not meant the same books, NCERT books, CBSE books जो कि market में हैं, जिसे जो formal and non-formal दोनों schools में use किए जाते हैं. They are not the right materials to be used for both section of the society. एनी हाउ बच्चे बहुत ही अच्छे से इसे हम कोशिश करते हैं बच्चे हमारे साथ काफी काफी मोटिवेटेड रहते हैं काफी अच्छे तरीके से कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि वो अपने लाइफ को बहुत ही बेहतर कर सकें the main challenges which right now we are facing is due to the rapid change in the social you can say the social changes rapid social changes due to the advancement of technology जो कि आई सपोज ये हमारा यूनेस्को का भी है कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के लिए वी हैव टू यूज दिस टेक्नोलॉजी in the field of education. If the illiterate uses this technology, then it can destabilize the society. And it is creating you can say, negative moral values also. So education to the kids who are using this mobile phone, the social platform, need to be educated. They should know what is right and wrong. And for that, they should be properly aware कि क्या सच है क्या गलत है और उसके लिए education is must. Otherwise, it will destabilize the society. The extremist आप सोशल प्लेटफॉर्म पे सारी आधी बातें हैं जिसे हम सच मान लेते हैं एंड वी यूज दैट प्रोपेगेंडा एंड वी फॉरवर्ड दोस मैसेजेस एंड बच्चों को भी बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसी हैं जो गलत पता है जो अधूरी बातें पता है एंड फॉर दैट दे नीड टू बी प्रॉपरली गाइडेड and should have the full knowledge and that can only be done at the schools the premises where they have the literate teachers who can guide them and that is the thing which we are trying to do in our school.
Absolutely. Thank you, Malvika. आपने इस बात को आप बाहर लेके आए हो. But before I say something on this, thank you everyone who's watching us on Facebook, and such amazing comments are coming for each one of you for the commendable job that you're doing. And Mr. Bhatnagar, who's a very senior member of ours, and he's saying that the buzzword that he gets from each one of you is consistency, that it is very important to keep reinforcing that it is important, the education is very important. But I think Malvika has raised a very pertinent point, that with the influx of technology, digitization, and a lot of new things, what I see is, as a parent of a child who goes to a private school, the way education is imparted in a private school vis-a-vis in a government school or in a public school or at any setup, formal or informal, there is a huge difference. There is a huge gap in the methodology, in the curriculum that is being offered. Have you all who are in this field, have you made an effort to try and bridge this gap and move away from the conventional way of teaching to something which is very today? For example, all of us here and all of the people who are watching us or who would watch us, we've all studied in a certain manner. हमने सबने रटा है चीजों को. हमारी जो comprehension है वो बहुत limited रही है, and I think जितनी भी comprehension आई है वो तब आई है when we started working. So it clearly is demonstrating, and it's a huge testimony to the fact that everything has to be hands-on. एंड व्हेन वी डू समथिंग हैंड्स ऑन, जब वो हमारी लर्निंग इज एन एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग, तो ही हम अपने उसको एक कंसिस्टेंसी ला पाएंगे, वो एक रीइंफोर्समेंट रहेगी और बच्चे की कॉम्प्रीहेंशन रहेगी। फिर ये जो हम बात कर रहे हैं अबाउट द चैलेंजेस जो टेक्नोलॉजी डिजिटाइजेशन ये सब करती है, तो मेरा ये क्वेश्चन स्पेसिफिकली आलोक आपसे है, क्योंकि आप आईटी फील्ड से आते हैं, कि देर इज सो मच ऑफ इन्फ्लक्स ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, राइट? बट क्या हम डिजिटल लिटरेसी या टेक्निकल लिटरेसी के ऊपर as an organization, and by organization I don't mean individual organization, but as a country, are we really working towards it? क्या हम हमारे जो बड़े हैं, सीनियर सिटीजन्स हैं या मिड एज के लोग हैं या बच्चे हैं, क्या हमने बस उनके हाथ में एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट दे दिया है और हमने डिजिटल लिटरेसी या टेक्निकल लिटरेसी के ऊपर बिल्कुल भी काम नहीं किया? क्या आपको ऐसा लगता है या हमारी अंडरस्टैंडिंग उसमें अलग है? आप क्या कहना चाहोगे?
नहीं, बिल्कुल बहुत जेन्युइन पॉइंट है और एक बहुत बड़ा कंसर्न भी होना चाहिए हम सभी लोगों के लिए, क्योंकि जिस तरीके से नॉलेज स्प्रेड हो रही है, जो नॉट नॉलेज आई शुड से, कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन जिस तरह से लोगों के लिए एसेसिबल है, अगर वो सही तरीके से परसीव नहीं करता है सामने वाला बंदा, दो इट बी kid into the rural area or IT guy into a metropolitan, it doesn't matter, बट किस तरीके से वो परसीव करता है, इसके ऊपर कोई बहुत सकारात्मक काम तो अभी तक नहीं किया गया है। अगर हम देखें पिछले 7-8 सालों में, बल्कि 7-8 सालों से क्यों, अगर हम शुरुआत करते हैं इस पूरे डिजिटल कैंपेन को इंडिया में अगर देखें, तो अराउंड 70s में रेडियो गॉट वेरी पॉपुलर। No, people started getting quick information. They were in love with those radio handsets, carrying it everywhere. Then in 90s it was 80s it was television, 90s it was dish TV, 2000 it was computers and internet coming up, in 2010 internet over the mobile. So every day we are progressing into that direction in a very fast pace. In past 30, 40, 50 years, if you see, information has become very easily accessible to people. But when we talk about the concern what you have raised, Akhtar, is maybe I don't wish, but it could be very dangerous for the society as well, where people are not working in the direction how, because एजुकेशन, आज हम लिटरेसी डे पे बात करने के लिए इसको प्रोग्राम भी हमारा इसीलिए है, लेकिन लिटरेसी जानकारी एक चीज हो सकती है कि आप कैसे उस डेटा को जाएं, फाइंड आउट करें। वेरिफिकेशन तो सेकेंड लेवल है। पहला है कि हम जाएं, किसी भी कुछ भी हमें जानना है कि भारत का इतिहास क्या है या कुछ भी हमें जानना है, हम जाते हैं, वी हैव सम इंटरनेट टूल्स, वी गो एंड फाइंड आउट द डेटा। पर लिटरेसी के साथ मैं कई बार ये बोलता हूँ, कई जगह केंद्रीय विद्यालय का स्लोगन भी होता है, सा विद्या या विमुक्त। विद्या वो है जो विमुक्त करे आपको, उस तरीके से आप उस नॉलेज को परसीव करना है, वो ज्ञान भी आपके पास होना चाहिए। नॉट ओनली दिस वन, मे बी ज्ञानेन प्रकाशते जगत, आप ज्ञान से वो प्रकाश, जगत का प्रकाश जो है इसको परसीव कर सकते हैं, लेकिन इस पे काम बहुत ज्यादा नहीं हुआ है। Not only to the underprivileged people, even to very privileged, highly privileged people, they are not aware that how to perceive that data and what all should be shared to others. It's a very responsible thing when you do, especially for those who are privileged, because they are the one who is spreading all this information in the society. I send it to you, you send it to your people. This is how it goes. So सही लोगों तक पहुंचे, इस पे काम करने की जरूरत है। हम अपने गुड वर्क्स ट्रस्ट में इस पे थोड़ा ध्यान देते हैं कि बच्चों को, क्योंकि बहुत तेजी से डिजिटलाइज हुआ है चीजें। अब हर बच्चे के पास भले उसे बहुत ज्यादा ना पता हो, फोन पे वॉइस सर्च तो कर ही लेता है कि ये क्या है, कैसा है, तो क्या खोजना है, कैसे खोजना है, व्हाट आर द ऑथेंटिकेटेड सोर्सेज फॉर दोस्त, कैसे वेरीफाई आप करें कि जो भी आप तक नॉलेज आ रही है, भले मेरे बहुत ट्रस्टफुल सोर्स से आ रही है, क्या वो सही है, गलत है। इस पे काम करने की जरूरत है। हम सबको धीरे धीरे अवेयर करना होगा, क्योंकि सोसाइटी में अब जैसे जैसे हम आगे बढ़ेंगे, इंफॉर्मेशन इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी इजी एक्सेसिबल टू एवरीबॉडी। एक बच्चा भी चाहता है, अगर बहुत रॉकेट कैसे बनता है या एनीथिंग ही वांट टू एक्सप्लोर आउट, ही कैन एक्सप्लोर, पर उसका फर्स्ट हैंड एक्सपीरियंस उसके पास नहीं है कि उस इन्फॉर्मेशन को कैसे मुझे यूज करना है। मेरे पास, इफ आई हैव अ नाइफ, आई कैन कट वेजिटेबल्स, आई कैन कट ropes, I can cut anything else. You should know how should you use that knowledge. Just knowing something is not a very big thing these days. How you should use that knowledge is a very important part, and सब लोग अपने लेवल पे थोड़ा थोड़ा अब हम लोग इसके लिए जागरूक हुए हैं। हम जब भी अपने बच्चों को पढ़ाते हैं, मालिका जी पढ़ाती होंगी, शिरीन पढ़ाती होंगी, मधु जी आप अपने बच्चों को बताते होंगे, या आप अपने ही खुद के बच्चों को जब आप समझाते हैं, तो आप बताते हैं कि आप इन चीज़ों से दूर रहिए, आप ये वेबसाइट्स अच्छी नहीं है, ये चीज़ें, आप फेसबुक पे जब हैं तो यू शुड बी टॉकिंग टू वेरी लिमिटेड पीपल, नॉट टू एवरीबॉडी। सो यू आर somehow very informally educating the kids, educating the people, all those rural people, who are these days using these digital transactions and all. We aware them, okay, don't do this thing, don't share your OTP. So शुरू हुआ है, लेकिन इसको एक लंबे डायरेक्शन में अभी जाना है। इसके लिए कोई फॉर्मल संस्था होनी चाहिए। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया भी कुछ चीजों को रेगुलराइज करता है, ऐसा नहीं है
Ma'am,
कि इंस्टीट्यूशंस नहीं है।
ma'am, uh, Ekta ma'am, I would like to add something, ma'am, if you
Sure,
allow. Alok sir and Ekta.
please.
Yeah. Malvika ma'am has said something which has been bothering each one of us. But Malvika ma'am and Ekta ma'am and Alok sir and Madhu ma'am, I hope you all will agree with me. Ki it's not important for a teacher to be literate. It's it's equally very important for a teacher to have a heart to understand the students, to reach out to students. हम टीचर्स अच्छे बनते जा रहे हैं. वी आर quite educated, well qualified and experienced also. But somewhere I feel ki we don't have a heart to understand our students. We don't have that patience to understand our students. हमें एक disciplined student चाहिए. हमें एक good student चाहिए. But इतने सारे distraction पे भी we have a lot of expectation from our students. But we really need to understand our students. And for that, I think we teacher also needs a little bit of counseling. And that's all I wanted to say, because I've been hearing Malvika ma'am and Alok sir that we have to understand our students, because teaching is all about reaching.
You're absolutely right, Shireen. In fact, a lot of people feel, सबको ये लगता है कि literacy जो है वो सिर्फ लिखना और पढ़ना है, which is actually not the complete definition of being literate. Being a literate person also means that you have the ability to comprehend, to listen, to communicate. So when we are able to effectively communicate, we are only able to effectively communicate when we are able to comprehend the information that we have and we listen. And yes, it is very important to understand student. And I think if you look at the Western world, आजकल concept learning, focused learning बहुत ज्यादा हो रही है. हमारे टाइम में था कि भाई हिंदी, इंग्लिश, मैथ, साइंस, ईवीएस, सोशल स्टडीज सब कुछ पढ़ना है, राइट? एंड कम टू थिंक ऑफ इट कि अगर एज अ चाइल्ड मुझे डॉक्टर बनना था, did I really need to study physics? Or I could have chosen some different subjects. You know that we are working in a very box kind of a mindset कि अगर हमें ये करना है तो हमें यही करना है. वो एक out of the box thinking नहीं है. तो मेरा ये क्वेश्चन स्पेसिफिकली शिरीन एंड मिसेस सहगल से है कि आप जब अपने बच्चों को पढ़ा रहे हैं, क्या आप उनकी जो पढ़ाना है, उनकी जो सीख है, वो सिर्फ टेक्स्ट बुक, करिकुलम, सिलेबस को कंप्लीट करने तक सीमित रखते हैं? क्योंकि यू हैव द लग्जरी to go beyond that, unlike a school where the school is only talking about completing the syllabus. Are you also incorporating things like digital literacy, financial literacy, bringing in newer ideas, talking about the current affairs that is going around? Or you are also focused on just this? And then I'm going to talk about the passion and the heart that you mentioned about, Shireen. But first, I'd like you and Mrs. Sehgal to address this. Anyone can go first. Unmute yourself, please. Mrs. Sehgal, you need to unmute yourself. Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So as you said that financial awareness, I think that I did it with my own children also when they were small. Though I didn't know that, I am doing something on the base of financial, because I started giving them pocket money at the age of 4 plus, when they knew what is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 100. So I made them, collect, giving the pocket money and ask them that this much money you will get. Out of this money, you will give your Rakhi Tika. Out of this money, you will give Mama's happy birthday gift, Papa's birthday gift, your brother's birthday gift, like that. And you have to save also out of that. So this is whatever the money was given, I wanted to see how they make use of this money by giving. Once your money is your own, number one question comes, why should I give my money? So that is what I taught them, that your money, you have to make it in, spend it in such a way that you give to somebody. Sharing is caring. If you share and care others, others will also do the same. So number one is this. Then they started, feeling that they will go to the market, they will do the marketing, what they have to buy for brother as per his age, for mama as per her age, for dad as per his age. So these were the two concepts which they were covering these things by giving them the pocket money. So that worked very well, and this is what now I am doing with these children also. I take them sometime to the market and tell them, see how, especially when this rounding up, it comes into the maths. So they were not understanding how to, even I found little difficult how to make them understand what is rounding off. So I took them to Mother Diary and I showed them how they make the bill. And if it is 14 rupees 20 paisa, it is 14 rupees. If it is 14 rupees 55 paisa, then it is 15 rupees. So this is called rounding off, a very simpler way. So they understood it very well. So then I thought that, apart from their curriculum, I must take them to the market, to the post office, to the bank, and I started taking them and showing them that how you spend money, how you get the balance back, and how you have to maintain your pocket money, what your parents are giving you. So I think this teaching has really helped them. And once the money becomes your own money, you really spend very wisely. So that is what I think I can contribute. What about others? I don't know. Okay.
Shireen, what do you have to say?
uh, Ma'am, like if I want to counsel my students, or if I want to motivate my students, I take help of the technology. I show them motivational stories or movies. I sit with them and watch those movies. We discuss about those movies. And recently, me and my teachers have made my students
Sorry.
the kids have they themselves have written script on this thing social media, and they have enacted in that Karnataka, and they performed it very well. So from that, they have understood that what are the harms of using misusing social media. So, ma'am,
Wonderful.
I, rightly said, Ekta ma'am, we have that luxury of reaching out to kids, and they confine on us, which I feel that when you're a teacher in a formal setup, you don't get that advantage, but we are getting it, so we find ourselves a bit lucky.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Malvika, you obviously are bounded by the curriculum. Now, as a school, I understand that in most schools, be it public, private, or government, till grade 5, you have the luxury, if I may say so, to structure the curriculum as per the national education policy. Also, there can be a lot of hands-on activity, and it's only in grade 6 onwards when the CBSE syllabus kicks in. So my question to you is that there are many interesting subjects in a very different way which are now being incorporated under the national education policy also. And I'm going to specifically ask you this question from financial literacy, because in the current budget the finance minister proposed that financial literacy should be a part of the curriculum. Now, has there been any change in the curriculum that is being offered to the students? Because as I understand, financial literacy is a part of the curriculum from grade 6 onwards, which is there at a very basic rudimentary level. As a school, are you trying to incorporate that for the older kids as well as for the younger kids? Or we are restricting ourselves because of the sheer background these children come from?
Ma'am, actually, this financial literacy is a very, very good and unique concept, and it should be there in the school curriculum from very beginning. And definitely, when we came to with when we interacted, me and you had interacted about it, and we just tried to make a curriculum syllabus for that, and and try to add it in our syllabus. And definitely, from coming session, we have made the whole module prepared with us for the junior sections. We are including this syllabus in our this including this whole as a subject in the module in our syllabus from class third onwards till class sixth. Till now, we have the module prepared till class sixth, and from this
Wonderful.
coming session, we are fully prepared to include this in the subject as a subject.
Excellent. All right. So now this question is open for, yes, Alok, please.
So one quick comment I wanted to make while everybody was saying. So I personally, if you talk about me, I did my education, school education, a long time back, almost 20 years back. So even that time, it was even more rigid, or this bounded with curriculum thing was really up to that level, you know. लेकिन मैं ये बोलूँ कि मेरा कोई ऑब्जेक्शन करिकुलम के उससे नहीं है. द वे यू इंटरेक्ट विथ योर किड्स, श्री ने शुरू में बोला था कि आपको बच्चों को समझना पड़ेगा. वही पाइथागोरस थ्योरम अगर हम एक इंटरेस्टिंग वे में बच्चों को पढ़ाएं और उसकी एप्लीकेशंस को भी उसके साथ कनेक्ट करें व्हेन यू आर इम्पार्टिंग दैट एजुकेशन, आई थिंक वो बाउंडेड वाला चीज थोड़ा सा कम होगा और उसका इफेक्टिवनेस बढ़ेगी. हम करिकुलम कुछ भी बना लें, इफ यू आर गोइंग टू impart it to the person who is getting it into a boring and non effective way, वो पूरा गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. तो उसके साथ
Absolutely.
कितना इंटरेक्टिव है, हम कितने अच्छे से बच्चे को समझते हैं हम, और कैसे कितने अच्छे से हम जो भी परसीव कर रहा है उसको हम वो दे रहे हैं नॉलेज, उससे ज्यादा उसका यूजफुलनेस बढ़ जाती है. यस प्लीज.
बिल्कुल. तो आई थिंक आप सबकी बातों से, आप चारों की बातों से, इन योर ओन वेज आप लोग भी ये चीज कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हैं कि हमें सिर्फ लिखना और पढ़ने पे फोकस नहीं करना है, हमें उसकी यूटिलिटी, उसकी समझदारी, उसको कैसे हम इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं, कैसे हम फिर आगे उसकी कम्युनिकेशन किसी को कर सकते हैं, उसका करना चाहिए. एंड आई थिंक व्हाट मिसेस सेगल शेयर्ड अबाउट द फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी, सो आई गेस आई एम अ प्रोडक्ट ऑफ दैट, who now is working in the same line. I'm in that profession without having to realize at that time that we were made to understand this. And not only me, even my brother comes from the financial industry. So I think for all the people, the parents, the grandparents also who are watching and listening right now or would do so later, please understand that it is not important. And as very rightly even Alok said and even Shireen said, that जरूरी नहीं है कि हमें उसको पढ़ाई पढ़ाई बनाकर ही बच्चे को समझाना है. आप कई बार खेल खेल में या खुद से वो गलतियां करके आप जो सीखते हैं या उसको देख के जो बच्चे सीखते हैं, उसमें एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग लर्निंग होती है. एंड आई विल गिव यू अ वेरी फ्रेश एग्जांपल. अबाउट एन आवर बैक we were conducting a science experiment of rockets for children, where we were trying to make them understand the concept of rocket. And initially when we were doing that, it was not working. Now the children thought that it is not working, but it was with intentional approach कि उसको हम initially काम नहीं करने देंगे. And out of the 8-9 children, there was this only one child who said, oh, we are failing, which means we are learning something. Now, how many of us actually are teaching our children to fail, to learn something out of it? Failing is not कि आपकी life खत्म हो गई. It's not a doomsday. To me, fail means forward action, inward learning. कि आप जितना गिरेंगे उतना आप ऊपर उठेंगे, right? We all need to understand, and I'm sure गिर के उठना means also the third law of Newton, equal and opposite reaction. So in a very playful manner, I'm sure there are a lot of interesting concepts that can be taught to children. Another aspect about literacy is the cultural literacy. And I definitely want each one of you to share your thoughts on the cultural literacy. Cultural literacy, by that, I also mean about the value system, about the integrity, considering the huge influx of crime at the juvenile level, बच्चों के लेवल पे जो क्राइम हो रहा है, और ऐसे ऐसे क्राइम हो रहे हैं जिसके बारे में शायद हमें सोचते हुए भी डर लगता है। 6, 7, 8 साल के बच्चे ऐसी ऐसी हरकतें कर रहे हैं जो शायद पेरेंट्स हम बिलीव भी नहीं करना चाहेंगे कि ओ माय चाइल्ड, बिकॉज ऑफ द kind of exposure to digitization, with the influx, the exposure, as educationists, as people who are responsible citizens, are we trying to communicate to our children? Are we literate enough to talk to our children in the capacity of a teacher, of a principal, as a parent? हम अपने बच्चों को कैसे इस बहुत बड़ा जो एक काल चक्र चल रहा है उससे हम अपने बच्चों को कैसे बचा सकते हैं? Anybody can go first on this. Anyone? Yes,
Yeah,
Madhvika.
ma'am. Yeah, as I said earlier also that the main literacy is value-based literacy. It value-based literacy से ही society में you can make inclusive and just society. And जो हमारा ये यूनेस्को का हमारा थीम है टू मेक द सोसाइटी सस्टेनेबल एंड पीसफुल, ये तभी होगा जब देयर विल बी वैल्यू बेस्ड लिटरेसी। एंड यू आर वेरी करेक्ट कि आजकल ड्यू टू दिस इन्फ्लक्स ऑफ दिस टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट बच्चों के पास बहुत सारे इंफॉर्मेशन है जो they don't know कि what to use, how to use and where to use, and there are lots of exposure due to social media plus due to this OTTs platform and everything, and they know the things in a very early stage and they are using it in a very wrongful manner. And बहुत ही like school में especially I'm talking about from the school view, after COVID बच्चों के पास मोबाइल फोन्स आ गए हैं क्योंकि कोविड के कारण ये सारा एजुकेशन सिस्टम जो था वो ऑनलाइन हो गया था। फिर उसके बाद ये चीज अब तक चलती जा रही है। इट्स नॉट बीन लाइक इवन मेरे घर में भी मेरे बेटे के बहुत सारा जो वर्क है वो अब ऑनलाइन ही आने लगा, बट आई डोंट नो व्हाई। अर्लियर दे यूज्ड टू गिव देम एवरी वर्क टू बी रिटन इन द almanac and वर्कशीट्स मिलती थी, बट दे हैव लाइक मेड दिस हैबिट एंड दे आर नाउ टर्न ऑन टू सोशल मीडिया पे, सब कुछ व्हाट्सएप पे आ रहा है या उनका जो प्लेटफॉर्म है वहीं हो रहा है, और फिर हमें बच्चे को देना पड़ता है मोबाइल। समटाइम्स आई एम देयर टू लुक फॉर, sometimes I'm not there. I have got busy in my household work or my other works. So it's very important to check on this, and इसके लिए literally as a parent also we have to look for this, and as a administrator in the school कि बच्चों के पास जो भी information आ रही है वो बहुत ही सही हो और उनको कैसे यूज करना है। चीजें हमारे पास आती हैं बच्चों के साथ, गर्ल्स एंड बॉयज के कंप्लेंट्स कुछ कुछ लेकर बच्चे आते हैं, पेरेंट्स लेकर आते हैं, बट वहां पे हम बच्चों को कभी भी हम डांट कर या ऐसे करके नहीं समझा सकते इस पे, क्योंकि उन्हें भी नहीं पता व्हाट दे आर डूइंग। दे आर जस्ट बिहेविंग कि इनको कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन मिला है एंड आई हैव टू एक्ट ऑन दैट, बट इवन दे डोंट नो कि वो जो कह रहे हैं या कर रहे हैं वो क्या है। सो दे हैव द हाफ इंफॉर्मेशन, एंड उस इंफॉर्मेशन को सही तरीके से बताना समझाना वो काम बहुत जरूरी है। और उसके लिए ही वो जो हम लोग आजकल एवरी मंथ इवन जस्ट अ वीक बैक वी हैव दिस काउंसलिंग फॉर द बॉयज आल्सो, not for the girls but for the boys. We have the counseling on different their genetical जो भी सेक्सुअल अरोजल स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं आफ्टर क्लास 5 and 6, सारी चीजों पे बहुत ही अच्छे से हम लोगों ने 1.5-2 घंटे का सेशन लिया है।
Right, absolutely. आलोक, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे? Lot of children come from different backgrounds, जहाँ पे कई बार खाना खाने के लिए पैसे नहीं होते हैं, so you know they जिस background से वो आते हैं, you know some of them are rag pickers, and उस तरीके से जब बच्चे आते हैं वो कैसे डिफरेंशिएट कर पाएंगे कि सही क्या है और गलत क्या है? हम उनको जो वैल्यू बेस्ड लिटरेसी की बात कर रही है मालविका, कल्चरल लिटरेसी की जो हम बात कर रहे हैं, उसको हम कैसे करके ये जो क्राइम्स हो रहे हैं हम उसको कैसे हटा सकते हैं?
राइट, सो हमारा टॉपिक भी समहाउ यही मेजर है कि हम हाउ कुड वी क्रिएट अ सस्टेनेबल एंड पीसफुल सोसाइटी। सो कुछ उसके मेजर एलिमेंट्स है जो मुझे लगते हैं जब तक वो एड्रेस नहीं किए जाएंगे हम थोड़े थोड़े फिक्सेस से इस बड़े इशू को रिजॉल्व नहीं कर सकते। इसमें एजुकेशन एक इट डेफिनेटली प्लेज अ वेरी वाइटल रोल, जहाँ पे हम उनको एजुकेट करें, सही चीज़ों के लिए बताएं कि देखो ये सही है, गलत है। इसके अलावा कुछ सिक्योरिटीज़ है लाइफ की जिसको हम जब तक एड्रेस नहीं करते, ये जुवेनाइल बच्चे हैं, वो देखते हैं कि भाई इस बंदे के पास गाड़ी है, आईफोन है, ये है, वो है, मेरे पास कुछ नहीं है, खाने के लिए मेरे पास पैसे नहीं है, घर में आता हूँ तो गाली गलौच होते हैं। तो जब तक उनके हम लाइफस्टाइल को, सबसे बेसिक एलिमेंट तो है कि फूड नेसेसिटी जो है हमारे समाज में, किसी भी एक फूड सिक्योरिटी होनी चाहिए। क्राइम का पहला बेसिक एलिमेंट यही है। ज़रूरत बहुत चीज़ों को कराती है, सबके लिए जस्टिफाइड नहीं है ये स्टेटमेंट, लेकिन ज़रूरत बहुत चीज़ें आपसे ऐसे करवाती है जो आप बाद में खुद भी एज ए पर्सन पछताते होंगे, मे बी मैंने ये गलत कर लिया, सही कर लिया। फूड सिक्योरिटी इज वन वेरी मेजर कंसर्न। देन एक एजुकेशन का हमने बात कर ही लिया कि एजुकेशन एक बहुत मेजर इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करता है, कि सही समय पे सही ज्ञान दे बच्चों को। जैसे हम फाइनेंशियल एजुकेशन की बात कर रहे हैं, जैसे हम कोई और उनके सेक्सुअल एजुकेशन की बात कर रहे हैं, किस एज ग्रुप में जो बच्चा है उसकी जो नीड है, अगर उस समय हम उसको वो नॉलेज देते हैं तो उसके काम की है। एक 20 साल के बच्चे को अगर हम एबीसीडी फिर से पढ़ाना शुरू कर दें, उसके बहुत काम का नहीं है। एक छोटा बच्चा, बहुत छोटा बच्चा, बेबी जब एकदम छोटा है, उसको हम बहुत फाइनेंशियल नॉलेज देना शुरू कर दें जब उसकी जरूरत है, जिस एज ग्रुप में है। इसलिए हमें अपने बच्चों को समझना पड़ेगा, उनकी उस समय पे नीड क्या है, आपको रहना पड़ेगा। आप भी अभी थोड़ी देर पहले एक रेज कर रहे थे, या प्रोबेबली मालिका वाज रेजिंग दिस क्वेश्चन, कि सुबह लोग आते हैं, सुबह से शाम तक कॉर्पोरेट जॉब्स कर रहे हैं। It's not only about the underprivileged kids, for everybody, all those living into high rises and all, सुबह से शाम तक कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ में है, उनके पास टाइम नहीं, वो शाम को आते हैं, देखते हैं बच्चा अच्छा 80% मार्क्स लाया, 90% मार्क्स लाया, बस ठीक है। वो मार्क्स ले आना, लिटरेसी का एस्पेक्ट ज्यादा है, ज्ञान का कम है। हो सकता है वो किसी गलत तरीके से मार्क्स लाया हो सकता है वो रट लिया हो, गलत नहीं, रट लिया हो, उसको समझ कुछ नहीं आया हो। तो अगर हम उन बच्चों के साथ, जो पेरेंट्स हैं या जो उनके टीचर्स हैं, उनके नीड ऑफ द टाइम को समझेंगे कि भाई इस समय बच्चा इस एज ग्रुप में आया है, इसकी ये ज़रूरतें हो सकती हैं, बच्ची है तो उसकी इस एज ग्रुप में ये ज़रूरतें हो सकती है। अगर हम उसको एड्रेस करते हैं और कुछ सिक्योरिटी प्रोवाइड करते हैं हम अपने समाज में सभी लोगों को, सिर्फ जुवेनाइल को नहीं, सभी लोगों को, कि भाई उसके पास खाने के लिए, जीने के लिए, उसकी पर्सनल इंटीग्रिटी जो है उसको कोई धक्का ना लगे, इन चीज़ों को अगर हम एड्रेस करते हैं तो जो पीसफुल सोसाइटी का हम सपना सोच रहे हैं, जो वो पूरा किया जा सकता है। पर इन सारे कंसर्न्स को एड्रेस किए बिना किसी एक चीज पे, दो चीज पे, चार चीज पे, ऑल्दो गवर्नमेंट बहुत एक्शंस लेती है, कई चीजें वो लेती है, लेकिन आप हम भी जानते हैं कि उसके बेनिफिट एक्चुअल ग्राउंड पे कितना पहुंच पाता है। नियत तो यही है, सरकार की भी इंटेंशन यही है कि भाई लोगों तक बेनिफिट्स पहुंचे और लोगों का भला हो, लेकिन उसके एक्चुअल बेनिफिशरीज कम होते हैं जो हम प्रिज्यूम करते हैं उससे। तो हमको सभी लोग को एक जागरूक सिटीजन के हिसाब से, जब अपने अगल-बगल एज़ अ पर्सन भी किसी को लगता है कि इसकी मेंटरशिप की ज़रूरत है इस बंदे को, मे बी इट कुड बी माय फ्रेंड, आई एम नॉट सेइंग अ थर्ड पर्सन, नो, आप अगर उसके साथ रहते हैं और एक-दूसरे से ये एक्सचेंज कन्वर्सेशन जैसे हम यहाँ पे बैठ के कर रहे हैं एक-दूसरे से, ये कन्वर्सेशन होती रही, गवर्नमेंट उनके बेसिक नीड्स को अगर एड्रेस करती रही, तो इवेंचुअली सम डे वी विल बी इनटू अ सोसाइटी वी ऑल स्टार्टेड बार्बरिंग 10,000 इयर्स बैक। 10,000 साल लगे हमें सभ्य बनने में। चीजें हैं, चैलेंजेस हैं, उनको भी एड्रेस किया जा सकता है अगर हम इस तरीके से उन सारी
बिल्कुल
चीजों को।
जी। और मुझे काफ़ी खुशी है कि नोएडा में एटलीस्ट, क्योंकि हम सब नोएडा में बेस्ड हैं, नोएडा अथॉरिटी इज ट्राइंग टू डू समथिंग अबाउट द एजुकेशन एंड द फूड for children. It is work in progress. It was also there in the newspaper, where a lot of representation from the NGO sector was also there to discuss it with the DM of the city. Shireen,
हेल्दी
आप क्या कहना चाहिए?
हेल्दी थॉट प्रोसेस, विदाउट दैट
Yes.
नॉट ऑल द टाइम इट इज पॉसिबल।
Everybody has to, I think, work together. There has to be a collaborated effort. एक अकेला कहते हैं ना इतना ही चल सकता है, वो एक एक करके जुड़ते रहेंगे तो वो कारवां बढ़ते रहना चाहिए। तो शिरीन, आप कैसे वो वैल्यू बेस्ड लिटरेसी या जो ऐसे कुछ हमारे सोशल मिनिसेस हैं उसको आप कैसे, हाउ आर यू ट्राइंग टू डील विद देम एंड हाउ आर यू टैकलिंग, बिकॉज यू हैव
Ma'am,
चिल्ड्रन अक्रॉस एज?
I would like to share an incident with all of you that happened very recently. One of my students, she came as a regular tuitions के लिए, and I made her sit in my daughter's room. And I told her कि I'm making you sit in my daughter's room because I want you to learn something and I'm giving you 10-20 minutes to learn this particular topic. And after that, you can come out of the room and you can tell me that, ma'am, my work is done, you can go home. So after 15-20 minutes, she came and she said, ma'am, I'm not able to find, I'm finding it difficult to learn this. Can I go home and learn this? I said, okay, I'm going to give you that time.
Okay, I think Shireen lost network. So while she comes back, Mrs. Sehgal, would you like to address it? How are you talking about value-based learning for your set of children, if you're there? Okay, Shireen is back.
Ma'am, can you hear me now?
Yes, Shireen, sorry.
Yeah. So, ma'am, I was sharing an incident that happened very recently. One of my students, she came for regular tuition, and I made her sit in my daughter's room where I keep her clips and all her accessories. So, and I told her that, you have to sit in this room and learn a particular topic. And after 15-20 minutes, I'm going to take a small test and then you can go home. She came after 15-20 minutes and she said, ma'am, I'm not able to learn this. Can I go home? I said, okay, you can go home. After an hour or so, my daughter came and she said, Mama, I'm not able to find my clips. I said, you are a very careless girl and you must have lost them somewhere. Go and find them again. She came crying and she said, Mama, I'm not able to find those clips. I looked for those clips everywhere, even I was not able to find them. Next day, that girl came wearing those clips. And I asked her that, Beta, who has given these clips to you? She said, ma'am, my mama has got it. And interestingly, her mother is one of the helpers of my house. I asked her that, Didi, from where have you bought them? She said, I haven't bought them. I don't know from where she has got them. And that was the moment I felt so hurt. I thought that for all those 8 years, all those 8 years where I have worked with this girl, I have gone in drained. I mean, like all my confidence and everything has got shattered. I said, if I have not taught moral values to my kids, what have I taught to them? And I did not punish her. I did not scold her. I just told her that, Beta, those clips belongs to my daughter, and you can have them. And she also felt a bit embarrassed. When she came to know that I have come to know that she has taken those clips without my permission. And after a few days, she got money. I did not accept that. But I accepted the fact that yes, kids make mistakes, and we as adults have to lead by example and learn to forgive.
Absolutely, very right. I think another example, if I can share, and as a parent, we do this that many a times children just say a lie, which they don't really mean, but they just say it because they want to save themselves. And the moment you tell the child that, okay, if you tell me the truth, why don't you tell me the truth? And invariably, it happens with a lot of us as a human that the moment the child tells you the truth, and you know that the truth means कि उसने कुछ गड़बड़ शैतानी की है, so the reaction to that is कि हम बच्चे को डांटने लगते हैं. सो इन अ वे हम ही बच्चे को इनकरेज कर रहे हैं कि वो सच बोले और फिर हम उसको उसी चीज के लिए रेप्रिमांड करते हैं. तो वो बच्चे के जहन में बैठ जाता है कि अगर मैं सच बोलूंगा या बोलूंगी तो मुझे तो पक्की डांट पड़ेगी, झूठ बोला तो पता ही नहीं चलेगा. सो वेरी राइटली सेड शिरीन कि ये जो छोटे छोटे नुआंसेस है ना, जहाँ झूठ बोलना या कुछ गलत बोलना, ये आई थिंक हम बड़ों से ही जो हमारी करप्ट सीढ़ी है उसको हम धीरे धीरे बच्चों को पास ऑन करते, बिकॉज दे आर अ क्लीन स्लेट. They will only absorb or they will only allow something to be written there which we are actually imposing on them. So I think we need to keep the time constraint also in mind. But we've spoken about general literacy, we've spoken about the challenges that each of you have faced, we've spoken about how we need to incorporate digital literacy, financial literacy, culture literacy, value literacy. One last question before we wind up this very interesting conversation is that we see very few Shireen, Alok, Malvika, Madhu, Smriti, and the likes of them. How can we encourage more and more people to come forward so that all those people who are still not getting that support to be literate? How can we encourage them and motivate them to be a part of this beautiful journey of quality education for making everyone literate enough to read, write, comprehend, communicate, and listen? What would be your closing statement to everyone who would ever watch this conversation, that how can they contribute in whichever way they can? Let's start with Alok.
So no, this is definitely इससे क्रांतिकारी टूल कुछ नहीं हो सकता कि लोग लिटरेट हो, पढ़ना लिखना जाने, क्योंकि जितना पढ़ना लिखना जानेंगे उतना वो उसकी तरफ इंक्लिनेशन होगा, थोड़ा पढ़ेंगे, थोड़ा और जानेंगे, थोड़ा। तो पहली सीढ़ी एजुकेशन जिसकी हम बात करते हैं, उसकी पहली सीढ़ी तो लिटरेसी ही है। तो सबसे पहले अगर हम अपने अगल-बगल लोगों को ऐसी मोटिवेशनल स्टोरी जैसे श्रीन ने बोला, जैसा मालविका जी ने बोला, अक्ता आप खुद बहुत एक लंबे टाइम से इससे जुड़ी हुई हो, मधु जी इज़ अ वेरी इंस्पिरेशनल स्टोरी अगेन। अगर ये स्टोरीज़ हम शेयर कर पाते हैं अपने फेलो सिटीजन्स के साथ, तो आई एम श्योर उनको हमें कोई मोटिवेट, कोई अपील करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। उनके सेल्फ में से वो बात आती है कि इफ दे आर डूइंग इट एंड दिस इज़ अ कॉज़ व्हिच कैन चेंज द सोसाइटी एंड दैट गुड सोसाइटी इज़ गुड फॉर मी आल्सो, वो अपने आप चीज़ें फैलना शुरू कर देंगी। So sessions like this and a continuous effort, like everybody is doing at their level. If we share these stories to our other fellow citizens and all, definitely इसका change होगा और हम सब इस direction में आगे बढ़ सकते हैं।
Malvika.
None, I can say there are many people who want to do social, they want to bring the social changes, but from their drawing room. They don't want to come out. According to them, they are doing their bit, but from their bedroom, from drawing room, by donating some
पहला
books, by
step चल
donating.
दिया मालविका जी, उन्होंने ड्राइंग रूम में सोचना शुरू कर दिया, एटलीस्ट
एटलीस्ट सोचना शुरू कर दिया।
हमने बाहर निकल
बट
लिया।
ड्राइंग रूम से बाहर तक लाना एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है, cause I myself have met many of my friends, my society mates, जिनको जब पता चला कि आई एम डूइंग समथिंग ऑफ दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग, दे कॉन्टेक्टेड मी कि आई वांट टू कम टू एनजीओ, आई वांट टू डू समथिंग, मुझे आना है। तो जब मैंने उनको लिंक भेजा, तो वो पहुंच ही नहीं पाए, कर ये तो बहुत अंदर है, ये तो गांव है, ये तो ये है। मैं भाई, तो ऐसे बच्चे तो गांव में ही मिलेंगे, तो आसपास में कुछ नहीं है। आसपास के बच्चे तो प्रिविलेज है उनको क्यों, क्या जरूरत है, यू हैव टू कम डाउन टू देयर टू डू वर्क। सो थोड़ा सा ये इशू है। और कुछ चीजें और भी प्रॉब्लमेटिक ये है मैम, एक बहुत ही रिसेंट इंसिडेंट है, यू मस्ट हैव बीन नोइंग, ऑन श्रीन मैम को पता होगा, हमने एक अपना लास्ट ईयर एक सेंटर स्टार्ट किया था, दैट 78 मेट्रो स्टेशन के पास में। यू हैव बीन टू देयर एकता मैम। जस्ट लास्ट वीक उससे उस सेंटर को हमारे नोएडा अथॉरिटी ने डिमोलिश कर दिया। द 4 बुलडोजर रैन ओवर दैट सेंटर, एंड जस्ट क्योंकि हम वहां पे एक मेकशिफ्ट में, एक झोपड़ी में हम पढ़ा रहे थे वहां के 300 स्लम के बच्चों को, बट दे थॉट कि नहीं, आपने अब शुरू कर दिया, आपका देखा देखी और भी चीजें बन जाएंगी, फिर आप इसे पक्का कर लोगे एंड एवरीथिंग, और वो हमारा डिमोलिश हो गया। एंड नाउ वी आर नॉट, मतलब वी आर नॉट एबल टू टीच द चिल्ड्रन, 300 चिल्ड्रन ऑफ द स्लम्स ऑफ देयर, हु आर बेसिकली अ रैट पिकर्स। द बच्चे जो है वो वहां पे प्लास्टिक के बॉटल्स और ये प्लास्टिक्स चुनते हैं, वो उसको सेल आउट करते हैं, 5 रुपए 10 रुपए मिलता है, दे आर यूजिंग दैट। इनफैक्ट जब हमने अपना सेंटर वहां बनाया था, इट वॉज अ मेक शिफ्ट, मतलब उसे वो कोई हमने पक्का नहीं बनाया था, आप तो गए हो, वो हमने बस उसे एक बहुत टेम्पररी स्ट्रक्चर रखा था। एंड बेंचेस जब हम वहां पे लाए थे, तो छोटे छोटे बच्चे थे, 3 साल 4 साल 5 साल के बच्चे थे, उन्होंने उस बेंचेस से वो जो स्क्रूज होते हैं, वो स्क्रूज उन्होंने खोल खोल के वो उसको सेल आउट करते थे 5-5 रुपए में, क्योंकि वो वही करते आ रहे हैं सिंस द बिगनिंग, जब से वो स्लम वहां पे है। तो बच्चे वो कर रहे हैं, हमें पता था बच्चे कर रहे हैं, लेकिन हमें वही तो हटाना था, उन बच्चों को वही तो सिखाना था कि आपको ये चीज नहीं बेचनी है, आप एजुकेट हो जाओगे, आप कुछ बड़ा करोगे। एंड अनफॉर्चुनेटली चीजें वहां पे डिमोलिश हो गई है। अब आई डोंट नो कि अब हम वहां पे कैसे, क्योंकि दे आर अराउंड 300 झुग्गीज हैं वहां पे और बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं, अभी हमने 1 साल उन लोगों को पढ़ा के हमने अराउंड 40 स्टूडेंट्स को तो हमने जो नियर बाय गवर्नमेंट स्कूल थे वहाँ पे एडमिट कराया था, क्योंकि इवन फॉर एडमिशन टू गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स अब वहाँ पे एंट्रेंस देना होता है, क्योंकि बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं जो पढ़ना चाह रहे हैं, बट लिमिटेड सीट्स के कारण गवर्नमेंट भी अब एंट्रेंस एग्जाम्स ले रही हैं। सो ये चैलेंजेस हैं जो बहुत ही ज्यादा आजकल है कि फॉर्मल एंड स्ट्रक्चर्ड स्कूल के कारण you can't take can't take the education in an informal way. So एक तो गवर्नमेंट से मेरी लिटरली आई वुड लाइक टू मीट सम गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स, और मुझे उनसे कहना होगा कि सर एजुकेशन को आप फॉर्मल, इनफॉर्मल और यूपी बोर्ड, बिहार बोर्ड और सीबीएसई बोर्ड के अंदर मत डालिए। जिसको जैसे जहां इच्छा हो रही है पेड़ के नीचे एक झोपड़ी में उनको पढ़ाने दीजिए।
That's a
Similar incidents
beyond.
मालविका इसी में, तो अक्ता हैज हेल्प अस आउट विद दिस थिंग। जो हमारा सेंटर है 160, वहाँ पे भी यही था, लोग अपने 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 उसमें तो करते थे, लेकिन हमें एक प्रॉपर सेंटर नहीं था। देन अक्ता हैज हेल्प आउट टू कनेक्ट विद सम फॉर्मल स्कूल वेयर दे आर ऑफरिंग देयर प्लेस टू अस नाउ। सो आगे ये किया जा सकता है। अभी वहाँ से हटा दिए, एक फिर से स्कूल शुरू होगा और रास्ते बन जाएंगे, ऐसा नहीं है, चैलेंजेस तो
मुझे लगता है मालविका, issue is not just about having a informal or a not so concrete structure. The issue is a lot deeper than what you may envisage about it. Anyhow, I think we're going to keep that a little out of this conversation because it may take a different turn and it may not be the appropriate platform to discuss that. So, Mrs. Sehgal, what are your last few words? That how would you motivate people to come forward to educate more and more children, especially the kind of children where parents at home are not literate and they are unable to help their children the way you are helping them? How would you encourage many more like you?
मेरा तो मैं मोटिवेट कर रही हूँ जो बच्चे मेरे पास आ रहे हैं उन्हीं के पेरेंट्स को। See, when we have, I have got now 4 children, so 4 parents, and all 4 of them illiterate. So what I am trying to teach them, that you come forward and try to put your own efforts by reading small books, एंड इसमें कोई शर्म नहीं है कि आप बड़े हो गए हो और आप पढ़ने के लिए आ रहे हो। तो एज इज नो नंबर, नो बार। एजुकेशन कैन बी एट एनी टाइम, एनीवेयर and from anyone. So what I have made a rule now for my children, like we celebrate everyone's birthday, we celebrate all the festivals. So I have started motivating the parents to come forward and make a small speech. Like recently we had Teachers Day. So when they came and I told them, your first teacher is your mama. We teachers come later on after 3-4 years, but your first teacher is your mother. So I requested all the mothers to come forward and say a few words. And very beautifully, in the beginning they were little shy, but very beautifully they came and they spoke very well. And they had shown, that, at the time when they were to study or they were to go to school, nobody motivated them, nobody helped them. But now they are very keen to learn. So out of these 4 parents, one parent, mother, she said that I want to come to you and I want to learn English. So she started coming to me with though of course the basic English knowledge she had. So we started sitting for 1 hour every day. I used to give her one paragraph and told her that you own your own small question answers. And she started doing, so we started with the grammar. And I'm so happy After that, she put her own efforts also because she herself was keen. Plus, with my help, now she's able to help her own child at home, and she really helps her in all her, his homework. Only thing, when some grammatically things come, she comes to me and asks, the help. So she said that by teaching my child, I am myself learning further with your help. So I'm very happy that out of four parents, at least I motivated one parent, which I feel, it's very good. And trying to motivate the other parents too, because they feel very bad when there is a parents teacher meeting. कि मदर्स कहती हैं हम तो नहीं जाएंगे, पापा लोग जाएंगे, पापा कहते हैं हम भी नहीं जाएंगे, तो भाई कौन जाएगा पेरेंट्स टीचर मीटिंग पे? पेरेंट्स टीचर मीटिंग में तो पेरेंट्स को ही जाना है. तो जब वो जहाँ वहां जाते हैं, देन दे फील वेरी स्मॉल कि अगर हम भी पढ़े लिखे होते तो आज हम भी कुछ कर पाते, हम अपने बच्चों के लिए कुछ कर पाते. सो वो जज्बा उनमें है कि हमें कुछ करना है. So out of now one is, I'm very happy that whatever I taught, she's doing. The other one I started and she said मेरे तो दिमाग में चीज बैठती नहीं है, मैं तो भूल ही जाती हूँ. तो आई सेड भाई तुम खाना इतना अच्छा बनाते हो, तुम बातें इतनी अच्छी करते हो, तुम डांस इतना अच्छा करते हो, तो पढ़ाई क्यों भूल जाते हो? शी सेड पता नहीं, मैं पढ़ाई मेरे को याद नहीं रहता कुछ भी. तो आई सेड अगर बार बार करोगे, बार बार पढ़ोगे तो याद कर हो जाएगा याद. तो इट्स आई एम ऑल्सो फाइंडिंग लिटिल डिफिकल्ट बिकॉज शी इज लिटिल हार्ड ऑफ हियरिंग ऑल्सो. So I realized that maybe because of her this deficiency, that whatever I tell her, she doesn't understand, and I feel that I have taught her. But when the result comes, she's again zero. So I'm trying to put some efforts as per her way, her potential, and let me just see that how I'm going to get some good, result from her. And that is what I want, that though wherever you get an opportunity to motivate anyone anyway, I think one should always make an effort to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm sure your other parents will also come up and do better. Shireen, what do you have to say? I know that you started off by teaching your house help, and thereafter, more joined in. We've spoken to a few of them who committed right here that yes, they will study. So, are they doing something? What are the challenges that you're facing, and how are you motivating more people?
Ma'am, the progress of my students speak for themselves, ma'am, on Facebook, and ma'am, that's one very important factor that helps me support to the people that if you help these children, they are getting benefit out of it, and that's how I'm able to seek more help for them, and more teachers are able to come abroad and trying to reach out to these kids. But ma'am, the most important thing here is that people still carry this mindset that हम तो बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि हम इन बच्चों को पढ़ा रहे हैं, हम बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, एंड हम बहुत और ये उसका वैल्यू नहीं समझते, ये पेरेंट्स इनका वैल्यू नहीं समझते. अभी मुझे ये बात सबको एक्सप्लेन करना और समझाना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है कि हम जिनसे एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं जो इसकी वैल्यू समझे, वो खुद तो लिटरेट है नहीं, और जिनको पढ़ा रहे हैं वो एकदम से इसकी वैल्यू कैसे समझेंगे. सो मुझे ये लगता है कि हमें अगर हम सब लोग ये सोचे कि हम 4-5 जने अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, तो ऑफ कोर्स ये तो अच्छा काम होगा ही, लेकिन अगर हम सब अच्छा काम करेंगे तो ये अच्छा काम नहीं होगा, बस ये काम ही होगा.
वंडरफुल. तो पहले तो आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आप सबने अपने थॉट्स इंटरनेशनल लिटरेसी डे पे यहाँ पे शेयर किए, और जितने भी लोग हमें इस वक्त देख रहे हैं, आप सभी से माफी चाहूंगी कि आपके कोई भी कमेंट्स में नहीं पढ़ पाई हूँ, क्योंकि यहाँ पे इतनी इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्वर्सेशन हो रही थी कि नजर नहीं गई कमेंट्स पे. बट आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप जरूर जाइएगा हमारे फेसबुक पेज पे, और वहाँ पे जो बहुत सारे कमेंट्स आए हैं लोगों के, उसको ज़रूर पढ़िएगा, वॉट एवर देयर थॉट्स आर। कुछ ब्रॉड थॉट्स आ रहे हैं, कुछ एक ये भी थॉट आया है फ्रॉम अ टीचर herself that perhaps the value literacy शायद कम इसलिए भी है क्योंकि फैमिलीज जो है वो जॉइंट फैमिली से न्यूक्लियर फैमिलीज हो गई हैं, और जो वैल्यू सिस्टम है वो ज़्यादातर ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स होते हैं जो इनकॉर्पोरेट कहते हैं। वेल, आई may agree or not agree to it because it is not necessary that if a child is brought up in a nuclear family तो उसके values नहीं होते। But anyhow, we are not debating anything over here. We are just trying to understand each other's perspective. But I think what I take back from each one of you here is that reinforcement of the concepts, the consistency, the the passion, the intent, and the heart to understand the child, or anybody who wants to, be a part of the whole system to be literate. दैट हैज टू बी देयर। हमारा जो जज्बा है, हमारा जो पैशन है, और मुझे जो मेरा एक्सपीरियंस रहा है आप सबके साथ, मदरहुड क्लब हैज हैड द अपॉर्चुनिटी टू perhaps collaborate with each one of you over here in some way or the other. My experience says that if you manifest it, it happens. And अगर हमें भी कुछ अचीव करना है किसी भी चीज के लिए, whatever that challenge may be, maybe Shireen, you mentioned about the unnati of unnati, Alok, you mentioned about the children at 168, Malvika and I have had many conversations. I have done some sessions also for the teachers over there. This is how the experiential learning is happening in private schools. But I think what is important is that each one of us manifested it in a very positive way, एंड वी वर एट इट कि हमें ये चीज करनी है तो ये होगी। तो मुझे लगता है कि जितने भी लोग हैं इस दुनिया में, अगर सबके अंदर वो एक जज्बा आ जाए, वो एक पॉजिटिव इंटेंट आ जाए कि हमें ये चीज करनी है, तो वो चीज होगी। सो एज द टॉर्च बेयरर्स, इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट दैट वी कीप टॉकिंग टू एवरीवन, एंड एज शिरीन सेड कि वो कोई उसकी वैल्यू नहीं समझ रहा है। हम सबको ये चीज कहीं ना कहीं लगता है कि यार हमने इतना एफर्ट किया लेकिन सामने वाला इस चीज को समझ नहीं पा रहा है। तो शायद we need to kind of introspect ourselves that are we really being able to communicate? Is there a gap somewhere? And if you're able to do this, I'm sure there will be a result and we will be able to help many more children. So let's always work together collaboratively. Let's create those synergies. And I think once that synergy is created, that peaceful society that we are talking about will definitely come. I know it's a dream which is a slightly far fetched, but as Alok said कि वो छोटे छोटे steps लेके जो हम digital literacy की तरफ कर रहे हैं, वो awareness cyber crime को लेके हो रही है, financial literacy के लिए there are many people like me and a lot of other people who are talking about it. Counseling for children, I think, is of utmost importance, talking to them about good touch, bad touch. I keep seeing there was this very interesting video which was on Instagram where there is a teacher who's talking about good touch and bad touch to small kids, and the way she is doing it in a very dramatized form is beautiful. So using these different forms of art, theater, music, dance, and kind of synergizing subjects with each other, I think that's a beautiful way to talk about various things. So thank you so much, each one of you, for bringing in your thoughts to the table and making this conversation so meaningful and beautiful. And Motherhood Club thanks each one of you for giving us that opportunity to collaborate with all of you and to be able to engage with these children, to understand how they think and how more we can all do together. So we are always there to help you all and take this association forward. So thank you so much from the entire team, and
Thank
to
you,
meet you
ma'am.
all
Thank
very
you for
soon.
having us.
Take care,
Thank you.
everyone. And thank you all the viewers who are watching us. Do share your thoughts, and if anyone is motivated today by hearing these four esteemed guests, take that step forward and make a difference to that one child or one adult, whether it is adult literacy or child literacy. Make that effort and create that ripple effect. So signing off for today, this is Ekta Sehgal Malhotra. See you and take care till we meet again. Bye-bye.